what's up? This is Martha D. Staub with That Hashtag Show, and today I'm reviewing episode 5 of Lower Decks. So episode 5 is titled Cupid's Errant Arrow, and now we finally get to see what we've been seeing in the promo from the beginning. Why Ensign Boimler was naked on a chair in a ship by himself and Ensign Mariner catches him. It's good. But let's rewind it back as to how we got there. So we're starting to see more and more ships arrive in this Lower Decks universe, and this week the USS Vancouver comes into play. They're coming in to help the Cerritos do a controlled demolition of an unstable moon. And of course, in true Star Trek fashion, there is an ethical conflict with the aliens, and that's the moon that they worship, and they shouldn't destroy it, but the moon is going to destroy the planet, so it becomes a whole big thing. But the meat of this episode is that we discover that Ensign Boimler has a girlfriend. And let me tell you, this does not disappoint. So we learn about Barb in Ensign Boimler's daily log, and he explains that they've been dating for a month. And of course, in true Beckett Mariner fashion, she interrupts the log and says, I don't even believe Barb is real. This is probably just a hologram. And he says, I don't do that anymore. Kind of like several other characters in the past of TNG in their relationship. I love the reference that Boimler used. He said Barb is just as real as a hopped up Q on Picard Day. Now, come on, Q's the greatest. So I love the fact that they keep referring back to old characters. We get to finally meet Barb. Ensign Mariner and Ensign Boimler arrive to the Vancouver, and it's the cutest thing ever because Boimler's holding a bouquet of roses and a stuffed Geordi LaForge teddy bear. Hello, where can we get one of those? Because it is the cutest thing ever. And also, is the TNG crew that dope that they have merch? They gotta make that. For real, I really want one. So we learn that, she's obviously very beautiful and blonde, and Ensign Mariner just doesn't think this is legit. She thinks it's totally fake, or she's an alien. Something just doesn't work well here, and Mariner is bound and determined to figure out what it is. She goes as far as trying to rip out her hair, scan her, because obviously nerdy Boimler with a really hot chick, it just doesn't happen. There's no rhyme and reason for it. So obviously Ensign Mariner ends up voicing her concern to Boimler that maybe this is just too good to be true. And any relationship in Starfleet, if it looks too good to be true, probably is. And so now this has really triggered Boimler's head. What I really loved was that Ensign Mariner goes back and says, I have seen things. And she describes a time when she was on the USS Keto, which, if you go back and look at it, it looks like it's docked at Deep Space Nine. I love it. I love getting these little Easter eggs of previous Trek. She's sitting there talking to a friend, and they're talking about an old TNG episode where Lore, Data's brother, ends up aligning himself with the Borg. And they always do this little punchline there's something new every week with the TNG crew. And so it's neat to see that. I love the references. And then we find out that Mariner's friend's boyfriend ends up being an alien. So this now becomes very obsessive behavior for Ensign Mariner to figure out what's really up with Barb. She really cares for Boimler. She flew out into space onto a dock to get to the spaceship where Boimler was waiting for Barb naked in the captain's chair. And I thought that was great. And then, of course, Boimler knocks himself out. Barb and Ensign Mariner end up duking it out, and they end up finding out that they have a lot in common. At the end of their bonding, Barb allows Mariner to scan her and ends up finding out she isn't an alien. But Bradward, yes, Boimler's name is Bradward, he has a parasite attached to him that makes him fall in love with people. So it was true that something wasn't right here, and obviously a parasite took over Boimler. So in true TNG, Voyager, and all Star Trek lore, it was too good to be true. I feel like we need more interactions between Ensign Rutherford and Ensign Tendi. In this episode, we got to see them really fawn over the Vancouver. They accidentally almost got transferred to the Vancouver. One thing that I love about Rutherford is that he really adores the Cerritos. He cares for it, and he says we're part of a team, and the Cerritos may not be the best ship, but I love working on it, and he doesn't want to leave. So the interaction between these two, I love. I hope I get to see more of it. Poor Captain Freeman. She can't can't catch a break. It's really sad because when the captain of the Vancouver comes in to greet Captain Freeman, you know, there's that knife that just gets stabbed in and wiggled around like, maybe one day you'll be on a fabulous ship like this. You know, that's some bullshit. And the thing is that Freeman takes it with a grain of salt. She's like, whatever. She's now in charge of the peace talks to kind of figure out what they're going to do with this moon that's about to crash into this planet. She finds her way through it, and she does persevere, and we end up finding out there's only 2 residents on the moon. Like, really? She says blow it, and it blew up. So Captain saves the day. I think Captain Freeman, I want to see more of her too. I want to see her kind of get into her groove and into that, building up that confidence that, you know what, she is a captain. It doesn't matter what ship you're on. It's how you lead your crew. And so I'm really hoping we get to see more of that development in upcoming episodes. Some cool little takeaways on this episode. I really did like the fact that they are throwing in more Easter eggs of previous Trek. I mean, that Geordie LaForge teddy bear, that won me over. That just got me excited throughout the entire episode. But seeing Deep Space Nine, which we pretty much know that's Deep Space Nine, and I love the way when Boimler was explaining Jet, he said that guy is a Kirk Sunday with Trip Tucker sprinkles. So we are getting all of TNG, all of Trek in all these little Easter eggs. So very exciting, very fulfilling episode. The fact that we got 3 storylines in under 30 minutes was pretty good. So it's starting to catch up. We're starting to get more and more info on these guys, and I can't wait for next week's episode. So don't forget to tune in to my next review. Thanks so much, guys, and we'll see you soon.